Have you ever experienced this? Has it ever happened to you that you have someone right in front of you who is incredibly nice, sorted, caring, and loving, someone who could probably be the perfect match for you, but your heart secretly whispers, "No, man, there is no spark. I'm just not feeling it." And then you turn around and start chasing someone who takes 2 whole days to reply to your texts, who constantly leaves you confused, and being with whom means buying a one-way ticket to an absolute emotional roller coaster. We have all made this mistake at some point in our lives. We know the person standing in front of us is a walking, talking red flag, yet we are drawn to them like a moth to a flame. So why exactly does this happen? Why do we, despite being so smart, logical, and composed in every other area of our lives, repeatedly fall for the absolute wrong people? Today, we are going to uncover this psychological mystery, and I guarantee that by the end of this video, you will have the answers to questions you didn't even know you were asking. The very first and perhaps the biggest reason is our deep-rooted habit of running toward familiarity. Our brain is a very strange and complex machine. More than peace and calm, it actually loves the things it is used to. Psychology says that in love, we don't necessarily look for what is good for us. Rather, we look for what feels familiar. If you grew up seeing constant fights in your home, or if one of your parents was emotionally unavailable, your subconscious mind has silently accepted that love equals struggle. Love means begging for someone's attention and fighting for your basic needs. Therefore, when someone enters your life who offers you love easily, who respects you without you having to ask for it, your brain gets completely confused. Your brain literally says, "Wait a minute, this is too easy. There's no crying, no drama, no late-night panic attacks here. How can this be love?" And you end up rejecting that genuinely good person, labeling them as boring. Unknowingly, we choose people who remind us of our unresolved childhood wounds, secretly hoping that maybe, just maybe this time, we can change the ending of the story and finally win that unattainable love. The second reason is the thrill of the chase, or the tricky dopamine game. It's basic human nature that we don't truly value what we get easily. Imagine you're sitting in a flashy casino playing a slot machine. If the machine gave you money on every single pull, you would get bored and walk away in no time. But the machine sometimes makes you win, sometimes makes you lose, and sometimes just leaves you hanging with the false hope of a massive jackpot. This sheer unpredictability is exactly what keeps you glued to that machine for hours. Toxic relationships worked exactly like this slot machine. That person sometimes showers you with immense love, making you feel like you're the center of their universe, and then suddenly disappears into thin air, leaving you on red for days. When they finally come back and give you a little bit of attention, a hormone called dopamine is released in a massive rush in your brain, giving you a strange sense of happiness and a literal chemical high. You start feeling that this intense, crazy feeling is true love. You keep going back to that person just to feel that high again. On the other hand, a stable green flag person does not give you this erratic dopamine rush. They stand by you consistently, without the crazy highs and devastating lows, which is why those healthy relationships start feeling dull and lifeless through you. You are literally mistaking anxiety and a nervous system response for love. The truth is, true love doesn't give you anxious butterflies. True love gives you a calm nervous system and profound peace. Now, let's come to the third and arguably the deepest reason, and that is our own low self-esteem, or undervaluing ourselves. There's a very famous movie quote that hits right at home. We accept the love we think we deserve. If you do not love yourself deep down, if you constantly feel like you're lacking something or are fundamentally flawed, you will never be able to accept someone who loves you immensely. Why? Because when someone values you more than you value yourself, you start getting highly suspicious. You think, they must be mistaken. When I don't even think I'm that great, how can they think I'm so amazing? There must be a catch, or they must want something from me. Conversely, when the wrong person puts you down, ignores you, or doesn't value your presence, your brain quietly validates it by saying, yes, they're absolutely right. This is exactly who I am, and this is what I deserve. We actively make space in our lives for the people who confirm our own negative self-image. If you want the right person to enter your life, the very first thing you need to do is look in the mirror and convince yourself that you are absolutely worthy of pure, unproblematic love and respect. After this, there is another very interesting reason, which we can playfully call the Bob the Builder syndrome, or the I will change them disease. Many people are highly attracted to partners who are broken, who have a ton of emotional baggage or severe problems in their lives. Such people are not actually looking for an equal partner in a relationship. They're looking for a project. They feel that their love has so much magical power that they will make the other person quit all their bad habits, erase all their deep-rooted pain, and completely turn them into a perfect human being. When you try to fix someone, you secretly feel a strange sense of power, importance, and control. You feel that I am doing so much for them. I'm sacrificing so much. They will never leave me because they need me. But real life is not a romantic Hollywood movie. You can't change someone unless they truly want to change themselves. And what usually happens in these scenarios is that you fail to fix the other person, but you end up completely breaking and draining yourself in the process. In a healthy relationship, both people support each other as equals. Not one person just becomes the other's unpaid full-time therapist. Another massive and highly common reason is the paralyzing fear of being alone. In today's modern, hyper-connected, social media-driven world, people are actually lonelier than ever before. Many times people hold the hand of the completely wrong person simply because they are terrified of being single and having to face their own thoughts. They feel that having someone, even a bad someone, is better than having no one at all. They think that if they leave this terrible person, maybe they will never find anyone else ever again and end up entirely alone. This deep-seated fear traps them in a toxic cycle at a relationship where there is absolutely no love, no respect, and no growth. Just a sad compromise. They put all their boundaries and principles aside just so they have someone to go out to dinner with on the weekends or someone to text goodnight to. But my friends, living a suffocating, miserable life with the wrong person is a million times worse than being alone and simply enjoying your own company. Being an introvert or just spending time solo is not a curse. Loneliness is not a fatal disease. It's a beautiful opportunity to truly discover yourself, understand your core needs, and build a life you actually love from the ground up. So, the big question now is, how do we break this exhausting pattern? What should we do so that the next time a glaring red flag stands in front of us, instead of running towards it with open arms, we take a massive U-turn? The very first step is self-awareness. You need to painfully recognize your own patterns. Pick up a journal today and deeply think about your past relationships and situationships. Look at what all those people had in common. Did they all ignore you? Were they all afraid of commitment? Did they all make you feel small? The moment you see your toxic pattern clearly on a piece of paper, you have already won half the battle. Secondly, give boring a fair chance. The next time someone replies to you instantly, makes time for you, calls when they say they will, and doesn't play childish mind games with you, do not reject them by labeling them as boring. Give them some real time. It takes a little while for your brain and nervous system to get used to peace and calm, especially when you are so intensely used to living in the middle of a chaotic emotional storm. And most importantly, start aggressively working on yourself. Recognize your immense worth. You are not a cheap discount store item that anyone can just pick up on their own terms whenever they feel like it. You are incredibly valuable, and you need a partner who clearly understands and respects that fact. Life is way too short to waste your precious energy on people who make you beg just for a simple text reply. Therefore, the time has come to significantly raise your standards. Learn to say a firm no to people who drain your energy and disturb your mental peace. Remember, true love is not a bloody battlefield where you have to prove your worth every single day. Love is meant to be a peaceful, safe home where you can rest, relax, and be yourself after a long, tiring day. If you genuinely liked this video and saw a glimpse of your own story in it somewhere, make sure to hit that like button and share it with those friends who are always notoriously chasing the wrong people. They probably need this harsh reality check too. And yes, definitely let me know in the comments below. Have you ever given your heart to the wrong person despite knowing better? What was your personal experience like, and what did you learn from it? I would absolutely love to read your stories and chat with you down there. That is all for today's video. Take great care of yourself, prioritize your own peace, love yourself deeply, and I will see you in the next video with another new, deep, and interesting topic. Bye.